good YouTube, Captain Machine here, back for another video. And before I get onto the topic at hand, I'd like to thank everybody that went to Furnace 2010 and made it a fantastic year this year. Absolutely great. In the 4 years I've been going to this convention, this was the most fun I've ever had. Granted, there are several factors to that, I think, which helped in the benefit. First of all, I ran the fantastic Ravenloft game with Savage Worlds. I won't say I did a fantastic job of it, but I think everyone enjoyed themselves, which is what the idea was, and I really enjoyed running it, which is perfect. And a lot of good games to play, a lot of interesting games, a lot of people to talk to. I actually ended up going the Friday before the convention, so I stayed over at the hotel before the convention started, which it turns out was a great idea, because not only did it mean I could have the day off and I could just wander around Sheffield and watch a movie. I recommend Buried, by the way, if you like to get scared. I also got to get a bit of a lie-in, which you don't normally get when you go into a convention that starts at 9:30 in the morning. And I got talking to a lot of great people out there, one of which was Newt, one of the previous organisers of the convention. I don't believe he's on the organising committee anymore, but he runs a fantastic Dungeons & Dragons First Edition, and we played that as the last game for the day. And Newt also wrote this book. Now, in full disclosure, he did give me this book free of charge to review, and I'm incredibly thankful that he did so. This is a great game. And the fireworks outside are in effect already. This is a fantastic game. I do highly recommend this to all of my viewers out there. This is published by D101 Games, which is a very small indie company which has a couple of games out there. Open Quest, this of course, and what else do we have? Here we go. Some Glorantha stuff if you're a big fan of Glorantha with regards to RuneQuest, either old or new. And Wordplay as well, which I haven't played yet, and I'm going to have to pick up a copy to give you a better idea, but it's some kind of narrative game. And I suppose this is too. Now, before I go into the actual mechanics behind it, if you're of my age, where you're around 30 something, you'll remember a show on early morning cartoon slot called Monkey. And you could say this is the role-playing game for that TV show, although that would not be technically true. Monkey was, as you may or may not be aware, based on a Chinese novel called Journey to the West, and so is this. This takes the idea that the universe that novel created is a place you can explore, have a lot of fun with, and in this game you play immortals who are being cast down from heaven for one reason or another, be it a misdemeanor, a crime, or just a mistake. And your goal is to redeem yourselves and then get back into heaven again and help people along the way. The Journey to the West setting, idea, story, and I do apologise about the fireworks, is one that's been explored in great depths. There's been books about it, there's been comics about it, there's been TV shows about it, there's been cartoons about it, there's been movies about it. The most recent I'm thinking of is I think it's called the Forbidden Kingdom or Lost Kingdom. I'll put the name down there if I forget what it is, which has had Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it, which is a fantastic take on the story. I do highly recommend watching that to get enough of a feel, because there are in that story other immortals who do various different things based upon what their powers are, and it's a lot of fun. And you might get an idea for this setting by watching that movie. The mechanics behind this are fantastic. Now, I did say it was a narrative game, and that's because it rewards you for being descriptive. In this game you have a deck of cards. Each player has a deck of cards to themselves. It's not a communal deck like, say, the initiative system for Savage Worlds. But what happens here is you have a deck of cards, you draw a number of cards equal to your attributes. Say for example you've got a Kung Fu of 4. You can draw 4 cards if you're fighting something. If you can be descriptive about how you're fighting something, or you're performing any other action for that matter, using some of your attributes which are tied to your yin or your yang, you get to draw additional cards. So you get rewarded for sticking to your character traits, which is great. It's a great way of enforcing that. You can completely ignore them, you can go against your character concept, which is fine. After all, playing a coward is great, but eventually you may have to be forced into a fight, and it would be unfair for the game to penalise you for doing that. However, when you are playing a coward and when you're playing for good laughs and good role-playing storytelling, shall we say, you are heavily rewarded for that. There's also a bit of resource management known as a fortune deck, if I'm understanding the rules correctly. I only played this once, so I'm not fair on all the rules. I'm sure we got a couple of them wrong, but then again, who does the first time round? Where you are encouraged to hold some cards aside for later on. So the starting, shall we say, encounters, you may not want to have a perfect success. You may be happy with adequate success, and you can hold away more higher cards for later on in the adventure. And there's a good little bit of resource management to that, and also allows you to get around the fact that you may be really unlucky and draw lots of really low cards. So it takes a bit of the randomness away of using a deck of cards. This is a fantastic short-term game. I would say it's ideal for a one-off scenario if you're looking for that little one-off game, or if you want to play a very short-term campaign, say at most 2 months. I'm struggling to find a long-term campaign I can really sink my teeth into at the moment. Pathfinder, or its derivatives of Dungeons & Dragons, obviously a lot of people are happy to play that from 1 to 20th level, and myself included. I've done that in a while, but it's something I might want to go back to. And possibly Warhammer, maybe. But a lot of other games, I like the idea of the chronicle, the short story, where you start with a group of characters, you run for a couple of months, and then you end with a nice big climactic finish. It doesn't die out, it doesn't peter out, it has a big finish to the story. The story is being concluded, you can all reminisce on it and move on to other characters and other settings. And if you're in that mindset, or you're drifting towards that mindset, then Monkey might be ideal for you. If you like your Eastern mythologies, especially the Chinese mythologies, which are very in-depth, multi-layered and fantastic resources for gaming, then I do highly recommend this. This is a fantastic book, and Newt, if you're watching, hats off to you, sir. You've done a fantastic job with this game. I do highly recommend this. The website for where you can buy this is down below. I do highly recommend that everyone goes out and picks up a copy, because this game deserves recognition despite the fact that it is just from a small indie company. Thanks for your time, guys, and goodbye.